All right, I do ask that everybody mute their screen. And when you have a question, I have my chat screen up. You can put your name in and I will call on you and then you can unmute yourself. My name is Marla Lindner. And my dear friend who is in this meeting, Amy Burgum, brought to my attention what was going on, Bonds for the Wind. And when I saw this, it immediately resonated with me that this was one of the easiest things to do to go after the districts or the unions or whomever you decide to choose and our rotten governor. So I messaged Mickey, who I am friends with, and I'm like, girl, what is going on? Because when we had last seen each other, she said something really big was happening and she really couldn't talk about it. And now I know, I'm getting chills. Now I know what she meant was something so big. And I'm very tearful because, you know, this is all near and dear to our hearts because we are trying to save our children and our grandchildren from this tyranny that is totally unacceptable. And this is where we continue to communicate with one another and pass information because we need each other. We do better in large groups versus small and staying quiet. They will not win this. This is huge. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to just delay this a little bit so more people come in because I know people will be late. But we are now 2 minutes into this. So I will tell you where I am in my process. I'm in District 196, and that is Eagan, Apple Valley, Rosemont. It is a large district. I have sent all my letters to all the board members, the commissioner, and the sheriff. I have not heard back from the Minnesota Department of Education commissioner. And Amy, please not, have you sent your letter to them too, right? And you can take yourself off as speaker, Amy, if you'd like, since I'm asking you questions. Did you get a response from the commissioner?
The commissioner, I sent a letter to the Minnesota Department of Education commissioner, and then his clerk got back to me. And I actually, before I even got the email back, I decided I'm like, in the back of my head, I go, just call. And I end up talking to that clerk, and she's like, it's funny. You're the second person that had asked for this today, and we don't do any the surety bonds or any information about that through the Minnesota Department of Education. They keep track of like construction and monies that are going if the school's under renovation or doing all those different things, but they don't keep track of individual insurance. Like the surety bonds. She goes, you would have to contact the board of your district board and superintendent for that information. And then I did, the following day, I did get the same email of exactly what she told me. So I knew the route I needed to go. Okay, yeah, so I didn't even hear back. So I'm glad that we have this and it's being recorded. Can everybody please mute their speakers? Or so we don't get cross noise, because I can hear background noise and it gets really hard for people to hear. Okay, Amy, thank you, dear. So I have and maybe you're finding this too. I don't know if they responded to everybody in your district, Amy, if they have responded to your letters for a surety bond or their insurance policy. There is no bond, but there is insurance. And so that may not be the case if you go into government officials. It might be completely different. Every district may be different. So when you do your letters, you have to ask for the bonds and the insurance. And we have templates of, Amy came up with a fantastic letter, and it is I believe in both groups. And someone here just asked me about mentioning both Telegram groups. I will put the link in here if I can. And if not, the links are in both groups. I know in the bonds, let me just check my phone real quick. Bonds for the Win in Telegram.
I will definitely add the bonds for the win with the districts in that group, so you can find the link, because that's a little bit more of a chatty group for more information, and there's a ton of pins and documents in there. Okay, so moving forward, I have the insurance. Let me just pull it up. The certificate of liability insurance. I don't know if you guys can see this, and this is for District 196, and this is for the board members. So you will be, if they don't have a bond, this is what the insurance liability form looks like. And this one is at per claim, it's $4 million, and their deductible is 1,000. So I can go after them for $4 million, and that's a hefty bundle. Now, I also
You said, Marla, I'm sorry, you said per claim, so it's per person that is covered for 4 million?
Okay, so the max is 8 million.
Okay.
So I could do 8 million, but I want to save room for going after them a couple times. So I don't know if I'll be doing 2 million per, claim, because this might take some time, but their max out is 8 million.
Okay. Good.
The sheriff is less, so I'm going to show you what the sheriff, and I have all the oaths. So in the letter, you'll want to ask for bonds, insurance, and oath. So now I'm not going to go after the sheriff and put him on a notice. I will if the board doesn't go with this. Does that make sense? If the board doesn't respond or negate everything that has been presented to them, then I can go and present this to the sheriff, I believe, right, Amy? And then he could go after them. Is that right?
What I have learned, because I presented my letter like you did through via email, and I sent them all the board members certified letters and the superintendent a certified letter. They have yet to have that signed and picked up. And then I got an email back from the superintendent saying that about the email I gave him. And he said that my requests fall under policy 722. So I had to look in the link of 722 about public information, and they have to have something written, and they have 10 days to respond, 10 business days to respond. But the funny thing is, the written part is what I had sent them through certified mail that they're conveniently not picking up. So, and I'm talking to my husband's cousin out of South Dakota. He's a constitutional lawyer. I asked him a question. He goes, they'll keep pushing it out. Every single one of those notices that they get to sign for the certified letter, they'll just keep conveniently pushing it out. So what he's asking for is something written, which I already did, but I emailed him the same exact letter, but that is not written. So to me, I feel like I have to go on up to the district office, and if I have to take the sheriff with me, I will, but I'm gonna look him straight in the face and serve him my freaking letter.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm down to, because they're playing a game.
Yes, they are.
Every single one of them, and they'll keep pushing it out conveniently.
Yeah, Mickey did advise to keep pushing, because they are doing exactly this, and there was a meeting yesterday. So if you go Bonds for the Win MN, there's the recording of the meeting that they had yesterday with Ann and Violet, and it was really informative. It could answer any questions that you have. So there are some questions up here. First, I do want to address, Bruce, I do like to have prayer, but there's a lot of different religions here. And I think it's best that, I have full gratitude to this universe and God, but to honor all religions, I'm going to keep prayer out of this. Okay. I need to keep religion separate, out of respect to all religions. if you want to pray before, and I have my high vibrational music on, this works for me. So each person can do what feels comfortable for them. So the next question was, Hannah, for newbies, please give a brief description of what the process is and how it works. Okay, so this will be a question that is asked repeatedly. So I would like to refer to Bonds for the Win. I think is it .com, I believe.
Yes.
And it walks you through every step. The first step is to send letters, and we have templates of letters. Send it to your school board, your county sheriff. And we're not getting, Amy had contact with the commissioner, I did not. And it seems like that's like not gonna work anyways, right, Amy? We have the information with the school board.
Not
and
in
the
our
sheriff.
district, not in our district. So that's just
Yeah.
what I found out about them. But you know, 199 is a neighboring district to Marla's 196. So with her information,
And that's Inver Grove.
that's in Grove Heights. And with her information, I plan on, because you got the liability information, the insurance, but I'm going to just call them and inquire. Maybe since we're neighboring communities, they might fall under the same insurance.
You guys, we might all have the
that's
same
what I-
insurance.
Yeah, I could get that before this rat race that they're putting me through. So I'm just going to inquire and call. So
You certainly can, and I'll give you the phone number. You can contact this person. I mean, I contacted her on Friday, but it was late in the day, so I probably won't get a response or any. She's gonna people are gonna inquire. It is Arthur J. Gallagher Risk Management Services. This person, her name is Katie Navin, and I'm going to give you her email. Katie, Katie, everybody write that down, _ Navin, Navin, at A as in Apple, J as in Jackie, G as in God.com. So she's the contact person for the certificate of liability insurance for the school board for District 196. So you guys could email her and ask her if they have the policies for other districts. Okay, the next question, could that be delivered in person? Do you mean, okay, so when you have your letters to go out to get the bond or insurance and their oath, I recommend email and a certified letter. I like the email because I can track what they have to say, and I can go back to them and banter as well if I need more information. And a certified letter is making it totally certified, legit, and you can find out when they grab the letter. And I would either you could do, I know certified mail is through USPS. You can also hire someone to deliver it. Now, when it comes to the next process, they recommend having it delivered to them in person in their daily routine. I think that's shocking, and I think that we want it. I think that's good. They're getting scared. They're catching on what's going on. If you can't serve them in person, not you personally, but hire a company to do this. They legally have to accept this. If not, you can get the sheriff to hop on board. And this is why you want the information on your sheriff. It is really important to get your sheriff's information. That was when I sent my email out, that was the first person that responded was the sheriff.
And Marla, what I found, the sheriff's oath is the same as the school board members that just had their oath. So I don't know about your school districts, if you actually had an election this year to fill seats. We did, and I was one of the ones that ran. I came a little short, so I'm plagued to our school district. They don't like me very much. But where was I going with this? I'm sorry, I lost my track.
That's okay. I'm going to check the insurance girl's name here while you're talking.
Oh, I know. I went in just this past week. I went in because January, all the new people were just sworn in. So they had a special session about it, and then they had family members or whatever. In our school district, it's not, it's only audio recorded. It's not in visual, where they had the location at, but they had like a screen up of what exactly that they're talking about, like a slideshow screen. So it had their oath right on there. And so I just sat there and let it go. I got 5 minutes of footage and on recorded exactly what their oath are and who they are and what they stated. And the oath was right there. And it was the same as the sheriff's. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I think these oaths are very similar. An oath is an oath.
Right.
Okay, so I did, let's see, would you reread? Okay, so I posted Katie's email. Now I'm telling you, she may not know anything. Okay, so she may be clueless and just have this one school board. I don't know how they pick out their insurance companies. And could it be delivered at a board meeting? I don't see why not, right? I mean, if they allow you, I mean, you only have 2 minutes to speak. You can apply for, what was that, Amy?
Yeah, in our case, in our school district, we get 5 minutes. Maybe it's because nobody ever comes to the school board meetings, but where it's different for you, Marla.
Yeah.
virtual.
Can you please turn off your speaker? Someone just jumped in and their speaker was on.
Oh, okay.
Can you please, not, you're fine, Amy, but yeah. Thank you.
So we get 5 minutes, but what I have found, even with myself running for school board in 199, it is very, very hard to even get on an agenda item.
Yeah.
They have their own agenda, the superintendent, and I don't know if it's the chair that will make the agenda items. You know, they usually review last month's things and then they go into new agenda items, but they are not welcoming anything that you know is presented to them. So if you are not, this isn't 199. If you have something to say that's not on their agenda item when they post what the agenda is about the general meeting, then they push you out to what they call a listening session before the board meeting, that you can sit in front of 2 board members and the superintendent and state your concerns or whatever is not on their agenda item, and it's not recorded. I got booted out in the second part of, because I was the one that was the anti-masker lady, and that's when I announced my school board candidacy in August. And then me and there was 5 other families that wasn't masks and everything was not on their agenda item, and they booted us out in this listening session. So I was pissed. I'm sorry, everybody. I was mad, but
you're a thorn in their side.
I am. And then the funny thing is, at the end of the meeting, they have superintendent's thoughts and school board, thoughts. Every single one of them talked about the mask, and they even addressed me directly with my name. And I started speaking up, and they were like, "Shh, you can't say anything." I'm like, well, I was very loud, and I was not pleased because they just silence you. They silence you. So to me, what I have learned now, just because you can't get it on an agenda item, you just sign up to talk about on whatever agenda item and then nail them. They don't have to know what you're going to say. You can just get there and say it and let it be recorded. That's the route I'm going down, because it's impossible to get on an agenda item. So that's in 199. So I don't know what it is for everybody else's districts out there. How you can actually get an agenda item looked at or proposed, but not our school district. They have everything on lockdown, and they have their own agenda.
Let me ask you a question, Amy. When I'm going to have to present this to the school board, and it's February 14th is our meeting. And I think is that a set schedule? I think February 14th. I thought I heard Violet or Ann say we have to have stuff done by the 14th because that's the next meeting. But Amy, I have never been in front of the school board before. Do you have to register your name to speak, or you just plop yourself there and you just go up to the stand and
No. what 199 does is they have to post their meeting and their agenda items 3 days before, like 3 business days or something, 3 days, I think it is, 3 days before they actually have their meeting. So coming up in February for us, it is February 24th. So by that Thursday, they'll post what the agenda meeting items are, and they just do it on their website too. And I think is I have to get down to what the meeting laws are, because I feel like they've been in violation of letting public know exactly what's going on. So that's a whole nother ballgame for me. But so by Thursday, they'll post their agenda items, and then you can look at what it is. And so you have to go online and pick the date that you plan on presenting about agenda items, and you don't have to state what you're saying at all, but that underneath that certain agenda, they'll ask for public to come up under that agenda item to talk. So it's online that you put your name in and what that you plan on speaking underneath that agenda item. So that's how they do it. And sometimes too, right before a board meeting, and I don't know if this is always, because I already caught them once when I went in the very first time with the mask mandate, that they didn't even have the special meeting up, and then the person that took care of that said oh, it was her fault, and they actually had sheets outside of going into the board meeting that if you wanted to talk under an agenda item, you can do that. But I think just because what I haven't end up finding out that nobody ever goes to Inver Grove Heights school board meetings, that they felt like they were just free and clear of everything. And then all of a sudden I was the one that stirred up the pot, and they had to move their meetings into a bigger room for people to come. So
That's a good sign.
yeah, and it's funny, now they're back to their tiny little room. So needless to say, they're
That's going to change soon when you go to
oh,
that next meeting.
especially when my big mouth will get in there and present this.
And Amy has a Facebook page. Do you want to share your Facebook page?
It is a group. I used to have my candidacy page, so that had to be public when I ran. But it's Alliance for 199. Let me exactly get the words for you all, and I can.
Can you put it in the chat?
I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, it's Inver Grove IGH Alliance for District 199 Education. So I will put that in the chat, and it's
Awesome.
just so it's a private group, because when I ran for school board, the trolls were awful at me. They even made up a fake campaign account underneath my name that I got attacked that bad. So this one I wanted to keep the trolls out, so there's just limited questions, kind of who invited you in. So anybody that's listening in the Zoom group, I'm going to consider that you could put down my name, that I'm inviting you in to my group. So you, Amy Burgum. So that's one of the admin questions, who invited you into the group, to keep all the trolls out. So I just wanted to let you know that, but I will definitely put that in the chat as we speak.
Awesome. Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dave has a question. You're still confused about surety bonds and liability insurance for the state of MN, specific to school boards in each district and county, different in terms of who they are bonded with. Do we send the bond request to the same position in each district of the school board? You will send a letter to each board member, and you will address it to their title. Let's say Art Colson is treasurer for District 196. So I said, dear Treasurer Art Colson, and then I continued on with we have the sample letter. So you may want to use this as a template. It was good. It worked for me. There's other templates out there, but this one worked for me. So I will, if you're in the Telegram group for the districts, that we has sent letters, you'll see all the districts in there. It is in the pin. the sample letter, or you can directly email me and I'll type it in here and I will send it to you so you can print it out and make it real easy for you. Here's my email, and you just email and say you'd like the template for the request for surety bonds. Okay, hopefully that will help you. Yes, you do have to send it to each person individually. I don't believe if you have, I'm not sure if you have to, but that's what I did. I think it's best to, so you can rattle the cage it and mean this is business, and you will have to send one obviously to the sheriff as well. Okay. Let's see what else for the questions. And Amy posted her Facebook group page. Let's see, I feel like I'm missing some questions here. Oh, okay, so this is do we come, hold on a second, you guys, I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling up to make sure I have this. Okay, Jen, the CSPOA will have info on what sheriffs are vetted. Can you go, if you're in here still, Jen, can you unmute yourself and explain this so we can have some education in this? Where are you? Jen, are you in here?
Yeah, I can go ahead.
Hi, Jen.
I'm actually driving for Lyft right now and I have a passenger in the car.
Oh, do you want to come back?
No. I'm multitasking. It's all fine. I just wanted to let you know that I used to be the host or the co-coordinator for, can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I used to be the co-coordinator for the CSPOA back in the day. And from what I understand is they will have a list. It's the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association. And they will have a list of what sheriffs have already been vetted. That work has been done. So I just wanted us to be able to save time. And then you can go in. I'm also was a public educator, but I'm out of the cartel as of a couple of years ago. So familiar with, all of the school board stuff as well. There's also, I just wanted to share, also HaseyaNow.org, HASEYA. Carol Kerr has been in Illinois working tirelessly on school board information, going to school board. She went viral, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. Some of you may have seen her. And so there's a lot of collaboration in this. My thing is time and energy is our currency. So we need to save as much of that and invest as much of it as wisely as possible. And there's so many of these groups that have done some of this work. So I think the collaboration piece is really vital right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe when you are done with dropping your person off, you can message here. I don't know if you can do that with your cell phone and put in the contact information.
Okay.
Just so people
Okay.
can
Yeah.
have resources.
Is there anybody right now that's just willing to type it in so that we can save time?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I mean, anybody that's not moderating too, I'm sure.
Okay, that would be
Has the
helpful
time
if
to do
someone
it.
else could,
Yeah.
so I can ask
So
the next.
somebody, yeah, I'm just connecting with somebody who's out there willing to do this. HASEYA NOW, so HaseyaNow.org. And the name is Carol, CAROL, Kerr, KERR. And then the CSPOA, which is already in there. You can go to that. And then if we could pin that about the sheriffs, because like you said, they have to take the same oath. And if they're vetted, this is just all this collaboration work that we can continue to do. And I'm happy to, talk offline or whatever if people want. I'm a networker, so I'm happy to connect and a bridge.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Jen.
Yep, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Drive safe.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
Okay, so the next, go ahead.
On something,
Sure.
I was reading the chat, and somebody asked about the ESSER funds. Were they used to mask up our children? And the answer is yes,
Mm-hmm.
they were.
And they'll continue to use them.
Yeah, and they do continue to use them. So when you follow that money trail, it leads all the way up to there. So the recommendations, in order to get that money, they have to go by the CDC recommendations and the
Mhm.
NIH. And of course, the Minnesota Department of Education is all collaborated in with that. So because when I went after all the superintendent and the school board, making them be accountable to answer these things, they of course said no. But the money trail, everything says yes. And we ended up, bless Nicole from maskoffminnesota.org. She's been an attorney there, and she gave me some advice when I tuned into their school board meeting one time, and I purposely went online because I wasn't going to follow their rules with the mask to be able to go in, but so I said you need to have set up a Zoom meeting like you do for anybody that for the COVID thing, that even the board members can be there via Zoom. And then they did, but then you couldn't talk. So you could just be muted and listen in. But I got documentation. She says if they talk about, because there was more funds on top of just the ESSER funds when they started PCR testing in the schools. That's extra funding, that is actually an outside contract that is against every school board policy about that, that it's illegal. And she goes, if you can get them to say that it is free to the children and the staff of these weekly testings and stuff, you got them. And certainly that one of those board meetings, they were talking about these funds that come in, and they plan on doing these testing sites, and people, the students can get tested, and the staff. And they said with parental, consent, of course, but
So you
that
saying that these
that
testing,
as long
it's,
as it's free, that's the contract that they made, and that was a part of it. So the ESSER funds is, that was a direct question to them. It is, they go by the recommendations of the CDC and to mask up our kids. So that is funding to do that. That's why they put the mandates going forward. But then there was extra funding on top of PCR testings in schools. So you have to look in your own district if they set those things up. It happened to be, and I asked the question, I said, what is this at all the schools? Are they going to be available to every single elementary and high school, middle school? And they said, no, there'll just be one site. So it happened to be at our elementary school near me, Hilltops Elementary, that they set up these sites for. And then the CDC came in, or no, excuse me, it was the Minnesota Department of Health, somebody from there. Then they started doing vaccination clinics there.
and that's coming down the
Yeah.
pike.
Yep.
That's the
So,
next thing is
And
mandated
now I
vaccine.
just recently
Mhm.
just saw, as I got the oaths and everything else, that I saw notes that they rescinded the vaccinations because of the OSHA and the Supreme Court ruling, so that they rescinded those vaccinations going forward now. So, I mean, that's a plus, but the testing is still going on.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next letter or the next message. So I want to try to keep this under, an hour at most, so people can enjoy their Saturday. Do any of the letters need to state what law or what part of their oath they broke? Okay, so the first letters that you're sending to the school board and the sheriff, Amy, this is, a great letter, and she's the one who wrote this. You will not need to state that yet. You will have under the Minnesota State Law 1517, and then the FOIA Information Act, and the code will be there, and the Sunshine Act will be in this letter. So you don't need to state what part of the oath they broke, because you're asking for the oath. That comes later with once you do your letter of intent, that is when you will have your intentions of what your situation is, how your child is harmed, and then you state the codes, and you will be guided through this. Okay, there's information, there's tons of information, and this information again is pinned, and we have documents in each Telegram group. Okay, hopefully that answered that. Yes, we are not anti-mask, we are pro-choice. We are trying to have choices. So if people still want to wear the mask, go for it. If you don't, this is what we're trying to fight for, is that we have options, our freedoms of choice. You know, when you go to a buffet, you don't just get steak. You need to have, you know, choices here.
Anti-mandate.
Anti-mandate, right. Okay, do we contact, let me see here. I need to arrow down. Do we contact the insurance company before or after submitting the affidavit to the board? You're gonna want to, you're gonna need to, I believe, and if someone else, if they have information that negates what I'm saying, please, you know, say so. I don't believe you have to contact the insurance company yet. It's when you're ready to make a claim.
Marla, this is Marie. I'm on the call right now. I'm just going to make a suggestion that you do it all simultaneously, or try to get that insurance information while you're trying to send out the letters of intent.
That's what the letter is. It is. I have the letter right here, and I can read it real. Do you guys want me to read what the letter is so you can hear it? Okay.
Yes, read it.
Okay, dear General Counsel Jill Cole, my name is Marla Lindner, and I'm asking you as the General Counsel for District 196 for the name of the surety bond insurance and liability insurance policy, along with the power of attorney, all individual policy numbers who are bonded, and blanket policies on all governing officials and staff in Eagan, Apple Valley, Rosemont School District 196, and their amounts of coverage. I am requesting from you the acceptance of office and oath of office documents of all District 196 board members. And then it states under Minnesota state law, so it's a paragraph saying all the codes and the laws. And then it says, I am not asking for a certified copy of these documents. I'm requesting a scan, photograph, or photocopy, so there are no fees required for this request. And then please email your information and documentation to, and then my email no later than, and then you post your date. You need to have a date because they will try to push it out, but legally they have 10 days.
10 business days.
Okay, so that template is what will be posted. You will change out, you know, put your name, you will put every board member's name and what they do. So in this letter, it says General Counsel for District 196. So if there's a treasurer, you say you're the treasurer, or board member, because District 196, I believe, has 4 just board members. And then they have the treasurer, and you know, each one has their own title. Okay, so hopefully that helped. Did that help everyone to hear that letter? All right, so the next question. We talked about ESSER funds. Roseville, you get to speak 3 minutes. That's good. That's better than Eagan or 196, probably because we're such a big district. I think we have all the questions. Oh no, wait, hold on. If you have more questions, please type them in the chat. Okay.
Mary, I didn't see your email. I think you said you posted it?
My email address, so you can get the
Letter?
Yeah, I posted it in here.
Okay, maybe I missed it, sorry.
My computer is, there's a bunch of message. Okay, here we go. My computer's acting up.
Marla, real quick, make sure that you're chatting to everyone because I don't think any of us are seeing your chats.
I'm getting, you know, it may be on, is your chat muted? Because mine says to oh wait, let me double check. Yep, mine says to everyone.
Yeah, mine says to everyone.
Yeah,
I don't know that anybody's seen any of Marla's. Amy, you want to try it just to see?
What do you want to?
Just send a test and see if we get it.
Yeah, Marla, I can see your email address and it looks like it's a direct message to just me.
oh, okay. Oh, I'm
Send it
sorry.
again to everybody. That's okay.
Thank you. Let me change that. My apologies. Everyone and any, okay.
Yep.
All right,
Yep,
I'll
I
redo
can-
it. Let's see. Let me know if you see it.
See it, got it. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay. I'm gonna scroll up here again. I know there's a lot of, yes, Tim Leslie, I believe, is a constitutional sheriff. I believe all sheriffs are constitutional.
No, not all.
They're not?
Could be.
Uh-oh. Which is not good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Then
would
there-
love to know if there's a list of constitutional sheriffs. I would, if anybody has that list.
Somebody just had, it was, I think, was it Ann who was driving for Lyft? She had, if you scroll up,
Mhm.
the CP, there's sheriffs that are vetted, the CSPOA. And I'm wondering with those vetted sheriffs, if it'll say if they're constitutional. I don't know how to find out what sheriff is constitutional sheriffs or not. And if they're not, then they're following color law. Is that correct?
Right, that's correct.
And that's not what that's not good.
That's not what, yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's-
So I think it'd be good to know which ones. I'll dig into that and find it for sure. But
That
I
would be
think it's
great.
yeah, I think it's very important that we use only constitutional sheriffs. And I believe constitutional sheriffs can cross county lines.
Oh,
Oh, okay, that's
Yep,
really great.
because
oh, that's nice to know.
they're just like U.S. Marshals. Mwahahaha.
Who am I speaking to? Who's on right now? What is your name?
This is Marie. This
Oh,
is
Maria.
Leanna.
Like this woman, she sounds familiar.
Sorry,
not-
I didn't want to get on the Zoom because I look like hell on a Saturday morning.
No, your name's
Anyway.
not popping up. That's why it's just your
Oh,
phone
okay.
number. And so that's why I didn't know who it was. But yes, Marie, thank you for being
Yes.
here. Oh my goodness. She has so much information, it is amazing. So when you see her name pop up in any of these Telegram groups, she's the bomb with all the color law and all that information. She is brilliant. So thank you.
That's sweet. That's sweet. I work in constitutional law. And so we're looking at constitutional law. We're looking at common law. And that's the quickest and fastest way to cut the head off the head off the snake, basically.
Okay, so there you have it. I don't know if Tim Leslie is a constitutional sheriff. I don't know if it's how to tell in his oath. I have his oath right here, and I'm sure it's not going to say, oh, he is, because it says in his oath, Tim Leslie, I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution. Is that the key word I'm looking for? But it's the Constitution of the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
So if he's
I
constitutional.
believe so, but I'm going to
again.
have to check.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Jen again, and when I was the moderator or the host, co-moderator for the CSPOA, we had not had all of our information together yet, and that's what we were working on, is going across the country and with Sheriff Mack and understanding they all have to take that oath. Some
Yeah.
of them don't even realize that they've taken that oath and that they're voted in. And because they're voted in, they can also be voted out if they're not following it. So they can say whatever they want, just like our school boards can say whatever they want, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they consider themselves as a constitutional sheriff and that they've been vetted. So I do believe if you go to the CSPOA, they will have documents now that will allow you to see. I don't know if it's a database that has check marks. I can look into it a little bit more because I'm still a part of those groups and see, because that will just save time, because then you just know that you can call and you don't have to go through kind of wondering whether or not you're going to get the support that you need if you want them to show up with you or to support you if you go into a meeting or you're doing these certified letters and you're not hearing back, to be able to name drop in your district your sheriff's name, knowing that they're going to have your back. You know, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, that would be fantastic to find out. Because if the board isn't responding and you need the sheriff and you have a sheriff that's not a constitutional sheriff, could be a problem, right?
I would assume
Yes.
so. So that's
Yep.
kind of
Yes.
the work on that.
Okay, next question is the commissioner, the city commissioner. It's the Minnesota Department of Education commissioner. So it's a state, not city. Documentate some, and Kirsten, you wanted documentation for this funding. Do you mean the ESSER funds? Amy, do you know how to find, you can actually go into your search engine and put in your district and ESSER funds, and I think you can get the list of, well, there is something pinned already that has all the ESSER funds in the groups.
I do have that list. What I was interested in was the person who had that conversation. I think the woman driving Lyft, where she actually had that conversation saying she had tracked down the money. Because I've pursued that with our school district, Eden Prairie, and of course they say we didn't use it. So I was just wondering if there was any documentation or paper trail, because I do know that list and I've been trying to track that down. So any documentation as far as what she found confirming that.
There's no way they haven't used those funds. They're lies.
Exactly.
They're liars. And they took
That's
an
what I
oath, so
told
they're
them.
lying.
Yeah, I know they are, but I'm just wondering how you track that down.
Oh, that's hard.
That's where if you go to Carol Kerr to howsayanow.org, she has a Zoom call that she does every week. I just was on with them for Illinois and they were talking about their process. She will walk you personally through the process that she went through, the money trail. So there's per pupil dollar. Every child gets an amount. And the last list that was put out, the one that we're talking about, the ESSER one, has the amount for each like a statewide and then district wide, how much money they're getting for the American Relief Plan, as well as a recovery plan. However, they're not going by student, like the per pupil dollar. But I know the last time this list was out and it was taken down, Minneapolis students were about $7,000 per student to keep our kids masked, and St. Paul was $8,000. And then you could look at each district and find out the amount of money, but that list has been taken down. Yeah. So Carol may be able to help you because she did the money trail. She did a beautiful job and she has it bulleted, like do this number one, do this number two, ask this question, call this person, and then you can follow that so that you don't have to go through and do that research again.
That's
the
great.
Deal has already been created.
I know District 196, I think each kid is a little over $2,000 they get.
Ours was just under, it was 3,800 a kid.
And this is where months ago, I remember someone saying, pull your kid out so they don't get the funding. But that's a personal choice. Jennifer had asked, can someone whose child who has already left the district or graduated participate in the process? Absolutely. Amy doesn't even have kids in the district.
No.
So there you go. I'm just looking for questions here. Lori asked, how do I shield my one ally on the board? Does anybody know how to respond to that?
Can you repeat the question?
Lori, are you here? Do you want to unmute your phone so you can ask the question?
Can you hear me?
Here she is. Yes, we can.
Okay, so we just voted in one super with us all the way board member. So I want to make sure that whatever we're doing is not going to affect him on the board, because right now he is our only ally on the board until we can vote out the rest of them, which I think happens. I'm not sure if it's the rest. No, he just got voted in January, so I bet we don't get another vote in for another 2 years. So how do I make sure I'm protecting my one guy that I know is going to fight for us? Or can we? Because it's a blanket insurance policy. It covers the entire board. So is there no way to protect him? And
He's a board member, right?
he is a board member.
He's
recently
insured.
elected.
He's
Yeah.
insured.
Individual, they should be individually insured.
They are not. The Anoka Hennepin School Board is a blanket policy of certificate of liability, but it is a blanket insurance policy. There is no individual policies.
But he's still blanketed under that policy.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But so I have to go after the entire board because it's a blanket policy.
But you want to protect him.
I want to protect him.
Can he be part of asking for can he be part of the process? Would he be willing to be part of the process?
Ooh, I don't know. I didn't know if they could be.
I don't see
Yeah.
why not. And actually, it would be extremely powerful to have him be part of his own process, going after his own people.
I
Ugh.
will ask. Thank
That would be very powerful. And because right now in my situation, there's two, when I ran, there was an incumbent seat and 2 open seats. So 2 of the board members did not seek to get reelected, but they're the ones that voted all the masks and stuff in to mandate. And so I want to go after them. So my questions with the liability insurance or the surety is to see how, if they're still covered under, is there an expiration to their
You're cutting out, Amy. You froze.
14 years and they've
There.
done a lot of damage. So those are my questions to when I get the insurance information to find out their names and to see if they're still insured.
Okay.
But nobody's come across that yet, where they've actually
No,
gotten a
but
school board member on board. So
This
I'll
is
pursue that one.
Yeah, Lori, this is quite brilliant. If he could go after his own people, I would want you to get in contact with Mickey with this one, because this one would be, I think need guidance to have it done meticulously.
Okay.
I know Mickey is so busy, but I'll message her when we're done and run this by her. And I think this will be like whoosh to her. So can you send me, Lori, are you in both Telegram groups?
Yeah.
Okay, will you message me, find my contact information and message me so we can be in direct contact?
Okay. And then tell me who you are again.
Marla
Sorry.
Lindner. So
Marla.
yeah, you can look in there and it'll say probably moderator, or I don't know what it says, owner, whatever.
Admin or something. Okay. I can do that.
Admin, yeah, admin for sure in the bonds for the win in the MN, but then there's a district one. So,
Okay. I'm in both.
okay, good. Awesome. Thank you,
you.
Lori. That got me like kind of giddy, like, ooh, that would be so exciting to have someone go after their own board. Like, you know what I mean? That would be fantastic. A question. Thank you, Lori. Who is the commissioner? The commissioner's name is Dr. Mueller, Department of Education. I'll type it in here. And if you just search that out in your search engine, you will find their information and their address, their email address. I actually, I'm going to type in their email address here. Since I have it up, I'm going to put it in here. MDE Commissioner at think I spelled it all right. Okay, so that is Dr. Mueller, but Amy has been in contact and she doesn't have the insurance information, but she might have other things that if you're gonna go forward with some other things, you can always go through and send emails to her, especially if you're going to have a lawsuit and you need her address to send information for a lawsuit, if you decide to go down that route. Okay, so I'm gonna, every time I write a message, I lose all the questions. So it takes me a few minutes. My laptop is a little older, so it's a little slow. Wright County Sheriff is a strong constitutional sheriff if you need one. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Sheriff Mack. Yes, and I believe Sheriff Mark Lamb is also as well, and he's in Arizona, and I think he is in contact with Mickey. So if they can cross borders, we can use these constitutional sheriffs as well, right? Seems like we can.
I believe so. I'm going to have to check on that, but I think it's with the state. This is Marie. I think if they can cross county lines. I'm not certain, excuse me, if they can cross state lines, but I'll check on that. In the chat, I just put two links to constitutional sheriff's information, so you know what they are. Just general information, but I will check and see if they can cross state lines. But I believe they're like U.S. Marshals and they can, but I do know that they can cross county lines.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so Alita did say that Tim Leslie was involved in shutting down the Alibi Bar in Lakeville. I believe this was the bar, the lady, there was like drama with her boyfriend. She was trying to stay open during the whole shutdown. I think that's what, so if he's following possibly color law, that's something to look into with Tim Leslie. But they were really quick on getting back to me. Hopefully your sheriff will get back to you quickly as well. Someone hasn't had any luck with Anoka County Sheriff Oath and Bond. Has anyone worked with Anoka County? You can write a message in the chat. Also, I will post my Telegram groups in here. I have to copy and paste them, and I don't want to do that right now because I have to do some research on that. But I can do that when I have a moment. You can also email me. My email is in the chat, and I can send you the links that way. All right. Someone posted basic ESSER information. So take a look at that. And that was Lori. Can you also send that to the Telegram and I can pin that? Let's see. Thank you, Lori, for all the information. Much appreciated, you guys. Whatever information, the more knowledge, the better. Okay, someone is having issues on clicking on the links above and the links are coming out blank. I don't know what that's about. Okay, Bruce, Katie Naveen is her email address is basically, she is the person in charge of the insurance, liability insurance, the contact person for the insurance for the school board of District 196. We're not sure if she will have all the, if she is in charge of everybody's insurance policy for all the districts. But I did put her email. If you scroll up, you'll find her email in this. And then the template for the letter will be in the Telegram links, or you can email me and I will send you a template for your letters. They also have templates for the letters on bondsforthewin.com. I think it's a .com, not .org. Anyone in Minneapolis willing to partner with me on this process, and that's Jen. So if anybody in Minneapolis would like to team up, contact Jen. I think it's Namo. Am I saying it right?
That's correct.
Okay. And so people are listing their districts. Please walk through step 1. Letter to school board. Okay, so Carl, you're wanting guidance on on the letters and then all the steps. This is a recorded meeting, so I recommend going back and once I post this meeting to listen to it and also to go to Bonds for the Win, and it will go through step-by-step process. The first step is, you know, the letters, and there will be a template. We're all kind of just working together and trying to figure out the steps as we go. Once you get the insurance or bond information and their oath, you can now move to your letter of intent. And that would be step 2. And I believe in step 2, you have your letter of intent. I have all my paperwork here. Notice of that you're going to do an intent is to do a notice of claim, and then the affidavit. I believe that's what you'll be doing. And there's templates for all this. So it's quite handy. There's people that have put hours into making these templates. Anyone in Wayzata School District here? I believe, gosh, I think in the Telegram district page, there might be someone there, but I'm not sure if they wrote their letters yet. And then, yes, you can submit an email. Oh, my email address is, if you scroll up, it's there. What kind of list do you need to compile? What do you mean for the constitutional sheriffs, Kirsten, or?
For the list of people on the call, so we can collaborate or stay connected. If there's some way that we could just, you know, so we're in contact with each other. I don't know if it's maybe through the Telegram group or emails or whatever, just so we can keep each other posted on progress and if we have questions.
Yes, so in our Telegram groups, it will have, you can communicate through there, and I will post. Can you please, someone's talking. Can you please silence your phone? I'm trying to figure out who's. Thank you. I think you fixed that. I will post the 2 Telegram groups that are linked to Minnesota after we're done here. And if you can't get back on here for the chat, then please email me and I can send it to you through my email. Okay, we got charter school questions. I'm not, and that's oh, thank you, Diane, for the commissioner's address. Charter schools, I think that's a whole different ballgame, isn't it? I remember hearing someone talk, yesterday there was a meeting in the Bonds for the Win with the MN group and Mickey's group. It was Violet and Ann, and they were talking, they mentioned charter schools and private schools. So I recommend going back and listening to that meeting. That was a great meeting. It was really, like, I think just an hour long, real quick, and lots of information there, because I don't know how to answer that. But if someone's wanting to, oh, yes.
I'm sorry, this is Marie. My apologies.
That's okay.
If you're interested, because my son goes to Minnehaha Academy, and so I have to go to what I'm doing, and I've got a group up called Liberty in the Land of Sky Blue Waters, and we have to go after the source of it, which is Jan Malcolm, and the mayor of whatever city you're in. That's about the only thing we can do, but you can definitely email me. I'll put my email up and you can ask questions about it, because my son goes to a private school, and charter and private are going to be handled the same.
But are they different? Are they completely different from public?
Definitely different.
Okay.
The only difference is that the same source is going to be Jan Malcolm. It's going to be the Minnesota Department of Health. That is the commonality.
Okay. That's good to know. All right. Thank you so much, Marie.
Welcome.
I don't know anyone who has submitted an affidavit yet to the Minnesota school boards. I'm in that's my next process, because I have all the information. I'm now in that process of intent and my intent to file a claim and my affidavit. So as soon as I have that information, we can do another Zoom meeting and I can walk you through what's going on. The process of what it looks like, because I don't know yet, but I feel like I have a lot of work ahead of me because these templates that Marie has written out, I have to go in and write my name and state that Marie we were talking for 3 hours last night, Maria and I, and how these I don't want to say contracts, but the affidavits and the intent, our intent, it's written in a way that we own our child until we're 21. We own them. They don't own our children. We are in charge of our child, and we have to state it in a certain way. And it also connects, Marie, you can jump in, and this could be another meeting because it's a whole nother ballgame of contracts and how they're written. But it's basically telling how we write our verbiage, how we write these affidavits and intent is saying that it's our child. All right, hopefully that made sense. Marie, you can, if you ever want to do a Zoom meeting on color law and learning about contracts, that might be a good one too.
I think that we should, because it's very few words, but they're words to know, because you want to be using constitutional language, because that is what will inspire civil court. If it ends up in civil court, that's what will inspire your sheriffs, the constitutional sheriffs. We're going around the color of law, the Black's Law. We're going around that. We're going right to our founding documents. So it would probably be useful for us to have a Zoom meeting, and I'm willing to do that whenever you guys want.
Yeah, it's also, Marie, you have a video, a 5-hour video. I'm only like 30 minutes into that video. Oh my gosh, but
that's really important. If people can do that while they're doing laundry or cooking dinner and listen to it, or driving their kids to school, that, like, I listen to Audible, it would be really helpful. I'll repost that video, but that video alone should really wake up people. That's like a wake you up seriously video.
They try to have all the control. You know,
That's
we're
right.
just, yep. Okay, so someone was asking about, Laura, you had asked, is the affidavit then different from a letter of intent to file? And yes, here is an affidavit, and I wrote all over it. This is a copy of that Marie did, right? You can see it's the 2-page document, and you will have it notarized. Every document, I believe the letter of intent, notice of claim, and the affidavit will all be notarized per each person that you send it to. So I'm going after the entire school board. They will each get one of each packets of information, or affidavit, the notice of claim, and my letter of intent. I believe that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still new to this process as well. And if you have a question that I can't find the answer to, I certainly don't mind trying to find someone that has an answer. And that could be definitely Amy or Marie, or, you know, whoever has, there's so many people with wealth of knowledge here, which is fantastic. Okay, let's see. We got Wayzata district people are needing help. Because everybody wants to team up with one another. And this is really important to have someone else. Like Diane and I have been, we worked together. She helped me with the paper letter and to get those certified and send them out. And I did the emails. So it is very helpful to connect with someone, because it's a lot of work and it's all new territory. So try to find someone to help you. Okay, everybody's leaving their contact information. Does this work for city council? Yes. I was told that this works for city council, unions. This process is their insurance. Everybody has some type of insurance, if it's a 30 bond or insurance. This will work. So I think, Marie, you're going after, aren't you going after Walt?
The city council.
Oh, okay. But this
I'm going after everybody that's in Minneapolis and in the state.
And that's phenomenal. So you'll keep us posted on that. And do you have all your
Yeah.
letters written?
I
And
have most of them written. Yeah. And like I said, I have that group. I've made it private. I'll put that in the chat and put the link in that I'm working with government people. That's what I'm dealing with is government.
that's fantastic. So if, and so when you say, have you sent any letters yet, or you're still working on the letters?
It's taking me a while because
Yeah.
I'm working in a different kind of law than they are, so I have to be careful. But yeah, I haven't sent out anything. I was hoping to have things out by Wednesday of this week.
Okay, so if you're working in Minneapolis, are you gonna go after St. Paul too? Since once you, after this?
I'll be willing to help people. I don't think I'll have time because I've got a pretty full plate with just I'll be willing to help people with the St. Paul, most likely.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
hope.
most certainly.
Once this happens and you get their information, they will have bonds, won't they? Or are they
They
insured?
should have bonds. And I will research St. Paul and find out about who's bonded and who's not. I will research the Twin Cities like that. Yes.
That would
I
be
will do that.
fantastic. And hopefully, once you start that entire process and St. Paul hears about it, they might follow suit. So, I mean, gosh, wouldn't that be fantastic? So you don't have that work, but.
That's right. I will get the bonds for St. Paul, so nobody has to do that.
Okay. Oh, someone asked, thank you so much. Rachel asked, can we get more subgroups for the different school districts in the Telegram group? So Rachel, you can unmute. Are you asking, let's say, each district has their own Telegram group? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I've seen on the links section that there's some that are like it has the same name, but then it has the slash and like a number after it. I'm guessing that's the school district number.
Right. So every time someone files they sent their emails and sent letters, I add their district in that title bar. So we know what district we're in, what step they have done. Well, it's not a step, but it's the first step. So
but what I mean is there's links in the links section on the Telegram page.
Yes.
There's been shared links to like another bonds for the win / 232 or whatever. I'm guessing that's another district.
Okay, so I don't know of any other Telegram that's just one specific district. I know there's 2 Telegram groups that I'm aware of, and it's Bonds for the Win Minnesota, and then the Bonds for the Win with the districts.
Okay.
If there is anything else, you're more than welcome to post that Telegram link.
Okay. Yeah, because we were thinking that it gets kind of overwhelming with
it is
in the big one.
Right. It is. And this is, and people come in at different times and they're wanting the same information over and over again. So it gets complicated. So it would be nice. I know that Tori says has individual groups for each state. So we could do individual groups for each district. So if you would like to start your own Telegram page for your district only, I think that would be great, and share the link and we could forward it to people. It does get lost in translation. It is a lot of work and it's a lot of repeat information. That's why it's always nice to refer back to the original website, which is bondsforthewin.com. I want to make sure it's a .com.
Well, and for everybody else, I just found the links today. I didn't realize I'm still learning Telegram, but you can go into, if you're looking for a link, you can go into the link section. There's a link section on Telegram. You can go into that and you can scroll through all the links that have been shared.
Yep.
You can do the same with files.
Yes.
But so it might get lost in the main page, but you could always scroll through like specifically links or specifically files.
Right, and I also try to pin as many messages so you can go back and just scroll and then look for target words, like affidavit or notice of claim, and so I apologize if they're repeated in there. I was new to pinning, and there's tons on both pages. With the Bonds for the Win Minnesota, there's media the files, the pins, and everything. So there's information in there. There might be, a little a learning curve to learn, but just kind of play around in there and you'll see. If you need something pinned and it's not in there, send it to me and I'll pin it. Marie is an administrator and so am I in the district group. So we are the only ones that are allowed to pin. You have to be an administrator or administration to be able to pin. So if you want something specifically pinned, let me know.
Marla, can I
Yeah.
butt in? I just put in the chat of a Rumble account. Her name is Sandy Shells, and her profile is like a patriot running with a flag. But she posts a bunch of videos, short videos of people going after school boards and bonds and things like that. Those are also in the Telegram channels. And since I have this on my phone and I don't want to interrupt what we're doing here, I'm not going to post those links of the videos I'm talking about here on chat, but I will do in the Telegram groups when I get access to my phone. Again, her name is Sandy Shells, all one word, and that's her profile, but she only has a few videos up, but it's all about the bonding. So it's a really good channel to look at some things because she's been pretty current. So thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Also, if you guys want to, this entire chat, I don't know how to save it, but if you want to try to copy and paste it, I recommend it so you have contact information. People are posting their information. So I don't know if you can copy and paste, but if someone could try to do that, that would be great. Yes, we can go after school unions and colleges. This is, if you go on to bondsforthewin.com, it has a section for unions. So it will walk you through that. The difference between the two Telegram groups for Minnesota, one has districts, and that's the one I started. Once Amy sent me information, I instantly wanted to start a Telegram group so we can all have all this amazing information. And then I realized Mickey had a group for Minnesota bonds. So then it's really hard to merge these two groups. So, which is fine because this at least shows you all the districts. And again, some people want to now veer off and do each individual district, which I think is a fantastic thing to do. And if you do that, then post on the Telegram district page and the other one, Telegram group as well. The difference is one is guided through Mickey, and when there are meetings, which there's another meeting this Monday for Bonds for the Win, and I think it is for just a general meeting. I don't think it's just for Minnesota, it's for all states. She will post on Bonds for the Win MN when there is an actual meeting, which is this Monday. I don't know what time. Hopefully I answered your question. Okay, so a letter of intent versus affidavit. It will be presented, not filed. This is to the school board. You have to tell the school board what your intent is and have proof. And proof of with the codes, all the laws they are breaking, the Nuremberg Code. There's a bunch of codes they're breaking, as you guys all know. You know, we have the Constitution, Bill of Rights for Minnesota, the actual Constitution, we have amendments, the Nuremberg Code, there's a lot of laws they're breaking. We have to present this. And so it's like presenting your case with the affidavit and your letter of intent. Someone is helping me write my letter of intent. It is, I don't want to say her name because I don't know if this is something she does all the time. She is working with Mickey. I don't know why they're once I get my letter of intent, and I did ask if this is something they are doing for everybody. I don't know, but I'll let you know. I'll post if this is something this woman does for everyone, fantastic. If it's just for me, then I can always use that as a template for everybody for their letter of intent.
But are they done at the same time? Like, should I be working on my letter of intent So I understand the affidavit will be the notarized form, but are they basically the same information where you're presenting the breakage of laws, just one happens to be notarized?
I believe, and Marie might
No.
have, we went through this, Marie, everything is notarized. All of
Everything
it.
is, so the letter of notice, the notice of intent or the notice is what you're letting them know that you're going after them for a couple $1 million if they don't change their tune. And that needs to be, you need to have that notarized. And then the affidavit is the proof of like why you're going after them for $100 million or whatever, they're changing their tune. And that is like letters from the school board, emails from the school board, proof that they're masking your kids. And also that if they are part of any of those funding groups, if they're getting money from anybody, you can add that and show them that, look, I know you're getting money from that. That would be really the only time that I would probably drag in their funding is when, see, you're getting money for it, so I know that you're forcing it, you know. So those are two separate things. One is stating what you're doing, which is your notice, and the second one is your affidavit proving to them why you can go after them. And both need to be notarized.
You will not go after their insurance company until if they don't respond to this, that's when you go after the insurance company and you do a claim. Because this is a note, we're notifying them of our intent and what we're doing if you don't comply with making masks optional.
Right, but there's two different forms. There's the intent to file a claim. So that's not showing any proof. That's just like listing laws broken, but I don't have to justify that yet.
No, wait. Let me be clear. There's a notice, and that notice is a letter telling them you're going after them unless they change their tune. And you don't, period. And that needs to be notarized. And by the way, you're going at I would not put insurance in there because you could go after their personal property in common law. So you reserve the right to do that. And that's in one of the templates that I gave to Marla. So the first one is notice that I'm going after you. The second one is what their trespasses, which is masking your kid, and here's proof because you're getting funding, and this is the email from the school district. And that needs to be notarized. So we need to look at the affidavit as a backup document to what you're stating. And also the affidavit is telling all the code and all the laws that they're breaking, the constitutional laws. And if you want to, although I don't know if it's necessary, anything with the state, like, you know, it's against the law to wear a mask in the state of Minnesota,
but not,
by the way.
But not that one, no, it doesn't fit anymore because when he did the emergency health order, somebody's already debunked that one, so that one doesn't work.
It doesn't work, okay.
No.
So, but that hasn't changed the law. Although they tried to change that law, but that doesn't matter. State statutes are fiddlesticks. Just go for the constitutional stuff is what I would say. But that's the difference. The difference is the notice is saying I'm going after you, and you know the horse you rode in on, and here's and then have it notarized, and this is why is the affidavit.
Okay, so they are both presented at the same time to individual board members.
That's correct. And we're doing the affidavit of proof because we're dealing with insurance companies and common law judges. If it were just bonding, it would be a completely different ballgame. But because we are now dealing with bonding is easy, and that's why we don't have it in the state of Minnesota, because it was easy to go after that. So you would present both at the same time. Yes.
Okay. And then my last question is did you say there was a sample of the letter of intent?
Yeah, I have a sample. I will repost it on the Telegram page right now.
And somebody is working on my letter of intent, and once I have it, I will post it as well. And once I have, I have to go in and fill out the affidavit with my name and also the reason for the claim. That's the notice of claim, but I'm not making a claim. I'm going to I'll pin all the documents that I have once it's all doctored. But there, Marie did do a template and it's in there. You just have to search for it.
I'm ready to put all the information together because I have the oath, I have the insurance. So now it's just my documentation and I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing for the next step. But I think I'm clear. I think I got it.
I know it's like once you start the process, it clicks in. So once you're physically you have the paperwork. So what I did was I started printing out documents so I could start understanding it. And then the pieces came together of what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I know it's
Okay,
uncharted
thank you.
territory. We're all doing, I mean, this is something that we've never done and we're not, used to this. So we're here for one another. And again, it's all this information, and I will pin it again or have the files because Marie's going to send it to me here soon, right?
Can I cut in here real quick, Marla?
Yeah.
I love all this information, and maybe Marie's got some insight on this. When I was in communication with Mickey, I am starting about, getting rid of the mask mandate. That's my first step. But my other passion, and I ran for school board with this, is to rid the poison of CRT. And I asked her about that, if there's any kind of laws or how I would go about looking to see if they violated certain laws. And she's like, there is no like a broad law about it. I think it just creeped in because it's all anti-American everything. So if anybody here has some insight or has some laws about the CRT that can have teeth, please contact me. That I'd like to know that, because these are a next step I would like to go down. And in Inver Grove Heights School District, we are members of Equity Alliance Minnesota, aka CRT. And the whole transgenderism, it's just horrible. And we caught our superintendent on a few lies about it, of some surveys that went out that parents were not notified about and were not able to have consent over. So I have documentation of a lot of things. And so I know that those things have been broken, just in our school board as it is, or the superintendent broke some of the policies. So those are things I can go after as far as policies. But if there's any kind of law that's out there as far as constitutional, please notify me and let me know. And maybe somebody's got some insight right now that they can post or give anybody here.
And they hide the name.
Route I want to go down.
They hide critical race theory and call it different names. So it's
Right.
The thing is, if you're going to put a claim on that, on critical race theory, you have to have proof. My son is not, he's in school, but he's not physically in school. I cannot sift. You have to get all the information of what they're teaching.
Yep. What I found out, because the superintendent addressed a parent that contacted me. He says, oh no, critical race theory, we're not teaching that. We're teaching culturally responsive teaching.
See, they hide the name.
Yes, that's what it is. And now they just implemented, now it's social emotional learning curriculum. That is CRT. It's the brand new name that's in it. And so I'm sure there's many school districts that are having those same things being introduced this year as a.
Can I jump in on this real quick too?
Sure.
I just want to let you know that I am working with James Dickey through the Upper Midwest Law Center.
Oh,
and sent out a data request to our school district, Anoka Hennepin District 11, and have been slowly getting, of course, it's slowly. They say it's too much data, and they actually sent the numbers of each search for each phrase or word, and it's in the thousands for each. It's ridiculous, but they are slowly sending me stuff and I have to go through each one. Sometimes there's copyright laws on some stuff. So then I have to actually go into the school district, make a, set up an appointment to go in to review those on their own computers there instead of them sending them to me. But I am doing that, and anything I see, I'm taking pictures of and stuff too, if I'm in the school district or doing, reviewing it at home and saving certain things that I see and stuff. But yeah, it is out there and they are naming it differently.
And,
All laws that are not enumerated by the Constitution or by the Bill of Rights and amendments are left to the people. So because there's no law on that, you as the people are the ones that make the decisions. That is how the law is written. That is how the original law is written. So anything that any of these government people are doing that are not following the laws or infringing on your constitutional rights, which they are by teaching CRT, then you will unfortunately need to go after them after that broad sweep within the Constitution that they are supposed to follow.
That's why they don't want parents involved with the curriculum at all.
That's right. That's right.
they're trying to push us out.
So we can go after them. We can go after them for that.
There was a survey put out, and so I want to wrap this up with this last thing that I encountered, so we can do a soft close to the meeting. And there's 2 pages of people here, you guys. Thank you for coming. I have chills, full body chills. This is amazing. So thank you for coming today. About a month ago, there was a survey put out through the Minnesota State Department of Health, and each district sent out a survey. You could opt out of the survey. I didn't have any of the, I didn't have the survey until a couple of days ago. But when I saw that there was a possibility of questions that would the question would be anything with sexual, anything, I kind of light went on and I kind of like flipped out. So I emailed the vice president of my son's school, which is Rosemont High School, and I brought it to his attention, and he had a blanket kind of statement that I forwarded to Amy, and I just kind of sat with it. I didn't respond because I knew, I just kind of prayed that the universe would guide me and the timing would be right, and that's exactly what happened. And then the American Experiment is a conservative website organization here in Minnesota. They put out an article on what this survey entailed, and it was pretty mind-blowing. And so I sent a letter of shame to that vice principal, and he sent me the survey, and I had posted on the district Bonds for the Wind, each survey. There's 3 stages depending on what age group. The lowest the survey was 5th grade all the way to 12th, but you can look and see the survey yourself. I believe I pinned it, and then he called me. And so I was kind of surprised. I had a surprise phone call from the vice president of Rosemont High School, and I let him know exactly what was going on with the transgender agenda and pedophilia. And he was silent and he listened, because I also requested a meeting with the principal, and they seem to be very clueless what the agenda is. I sent him an email with all the links of all the information I could come up with to prove that this is actually happening in agenda. And so I sent him also Agenda 21, Agenda 30, and why it's bad. And then NAMBLA, that organization. And so I'm waiting to hear back about having a meeting regarding this. And I just wanted you guys to know that it would be okay if you confronted your school principals as well, to explain to them the intent of transgenderism and a slow introductory to pedophilia into school districts. They need to be aware of what is happening. Okay, there is a drag show happening at the Mall of America. I don't have the dates, and it would be nice to, I don't think I'm personally in town that day. I think it was in the beginning of February. I believe it's the Huntington Bank stage or area where Huntington Bank is. And I know Crave and Macy's, I believe they're sponsoring. There's one more sponsor in this, and it would be nice to get a group of us. This does not belong at the Mall of America. Drag shows should be kept at bars for adults and not children. All right, that's what I wanted to share. You guys, thank you so much. Oh, it was last
Thank you.
weekend.
Yeah, it was last weekend.
All right. Were you there, Kathleen? Did you see it? Did anybody attend this to see what was going on? I missed it. Darn.
No, I called the Mall of America and let them know my piece, but I did not attend. I was out of town.
What'd they say?
I did not attend it either, but some other people, we tried to get a big group out there. It was put out on an email to a lot of people. But we couldn't get we're trying to look into the backgrounds of these people and keep a database of them.
That's a great idea. And see if there's a criminal background too.
Yes, and there is one. We have it on one of them, a criminal background.
Wow.
And I told the Mall of America that he had a criminal background. But they are flipping everybody off. They're not.
And depending on what the crime is, they need to stay away from children at a certain distance.
That's exactly right.
So if we could get a warrant for them.
Yeah,
Breaking the law.
Right. This was a different, he had a felon for something other than child abuse, but we're looking into it.
That is so great. Keep us posted on that. I'm really curious to know how that goes. Someone had messaged. Oh, Andrea, were you wondering about what the vice principal, how he responded? And you wanted the email that I sent? Is that what you're wanting, Andrea? Your speaker, you got to turn your speaker on. There you go.
Yes, exactly. Like, I mean, because that's the full bomb of, what's the end game here? And
right.
How did he respond to you? I mean, just basically like, woohoo.
He was really, what I said to him was, Rosemont's a fantastic school and we want to keep it that way. So always saying a positive, to give him some kudos and to know you have their back. And this is why you're giving this information, because he seemed very clueless that what's coming down the pike is pedophilia. And this is a massive problem. I said California's school districts are having a hell of a time with this too. And so he thanked me. He did say if I had a meeting with him and Mr. Roback, that it needs to pertain to Rosemont High School. And this pertains to every school, not high school, every school.
So we have one of our middle school administrators, they are on the same page and they see the end game. But again, when we talk about going after the people that have oath of office principles and you're not able to do anything, but it's the superintendent, right? And the school board and the city commissioner. So
yeah, I don't think the principal, and I don't want to put power to anything being dangerous, but anyone who is going to speak out, there's going to be and needs to be loud. They need to be, if you're going to speak out, be loud, because you want people to notice you. You want to be heard and you want to have your army backing you up. These school boards, they have people above them that come down on them. This is why they don't bend. They don't want to lose their job. This is why we go after their insurance, because they could lose their home. They could lose their car. Their family could be out on the streets if they don't comply to this.
Ladies, can I join with a conversation too? I'm a little bit late. I wanted to share one experience I don't want to say where it happened, so I don't give up that teacher. I had to do something with a teacher, and I was assuming based on votes that I'm talking to my opposition. So I said, I don't like these questionnaires for kindergartner about the race and all. In the past, at least you gave an option. I don't want to answer. Nowadays, you are forcing. And I told her, I'm from Russia. I told her about the experience, what they did to my grandparents' family. They called them kulaks and sent them to 1,000 miles away on a train for animals. And it was why I'm saying it, what was amazing thing happened after that. She looked at me and she said, thank you very much for being loud, for saying it. I want to let you know that many teachers here in this building are feeling the same way. It caught me in awe. I think that they're afraid. They're afraid to lose jobs. They're afraid to get what's the word? Shunned out, getting cold shoulders. And the frustration for me is I am afraid that the teachers who are actually liking the teacher but don't like what's happening right now might quit their jobs. And then we're going to have lame teachers left, to be honest.
Well, that's okay, because there's a lot of people that want to teach real education. We're not even taught, our kids aren't even being taught real education.
I kind of agree with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I cut in here? And
absolutely.
I had teachers when I was running as candidate. They came out and talked to me, and they wanted to keep their name under the table. But they were finding out is not only there was a lot of violence in the school, but they were very much a board conservatively. These teachers were more conservative, and what they were seeing and things and how they even felt in their own classroom. Some of them felt like they were afraid of getting attacked even. And one was actually threatened, and she reported it, and it went scooting under the table with the administrators. And if there was things out in the hallway, and I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to tell the exact words of what this woman says. Like, she goes, the other day out in the hallway, right outside my room, it was shouting, this kid was shouting, suck my fucking dick. And she goes, what? And I can't say anything about that. And there was a few incidences on things like this when if she were to talk to the administrative about opposing anything that they have to address, they have to have a special meeting about it and pull aside to be talked to. And it was very sad. She goes, I feel threatened in my own classroom. And a lot of people feel that way. And it's unfortunate. That's what you're seeing, a lot more violence going along in the school, even vandalism. I mean, I know it's happening in 199, especially the middle school is horrible. And I want to put an end to all that. And teachers shouldn't have, good teachers, I should say, shouldn't have their hands handcuffed and be afraid of losing their job for speaking up, and they should be heard. And it's getting sickening. It's getting sick.
There's amazing teachers out there that are quitting because this is not in alignment of their morals and beliefs. They will quit because this is why there's a shortage of teachers. They are not aligned in this way. If these board members do not conform to what we're asking, it will collapse. It's similar to the FAA and what's going on with US Freedom Flyers, with the pilots getting the thing in their arm. They're injured and they're dying. If they don't, this is going to collapse the system possibly. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying it's a possibility when people do not follow the law. It is really sad. There's amazing teachers. There's amazing medical professionals out there. It is devastating what they're doing. And going back with the whole pedophilia, there's amazing gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual people out there, and we need their support too. It's giving them a bad name. I have plenty of friends that are in that gay and lesbian, transsexual gender. They don't want to be in that category as a pedophile. It's not fair to them when they're good people. So we need everybody together. Everybody should be talking about this. We should not be afraid to, you have to let go of that ego, be okay with people talking about you, and let go of the friends, because you will lose friends and family in this process, and it is okay. You will have new friends. I lost almost all my friends and family. I was that. I was a liberal. I voted for all those idiots. And I have been in that gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender regime. I've been there, done it, so I can speak from, and I have friends that are against all this that are lesbians and bisexuals. They get it. And they don't want to be in that category. It's like the teachers, they don't want to be like, but I'm not like them. Well, then encourage people to speak out. We want to hear their voice. You cannot be silenced anymore, or you're part of the problem. There you go.
That's right. That's right. Whoever said that they were talking about the gulags, the lady from Russia, my ex-husband is from Moscow. You really need to drive that home to these people and to everyone, that we are talking about literally the same type of thing that happened, at the turn of the century there. So we need to really drive it. This is serious stuff. This isn't child's play, man. This is serious. Anybody that sees Open Society or any funding that comes from that, you might want to take note of that, because those are the international what are called international NGOs, non-governmental organizations that are actually lining the pockets of some of these bigger school board members.
Mhm.
I yield.
Great point.
Somebody asked me what woke me up. So 2 years ago, my friend said, Marla, will you please watch this video? And it was Janet Osbart's Fall of Cabal. And I said, oh, I watched it and I was shocked. And I said, you just want me to vote for Trump? And she said, no, it's a matter of good versus evil. And then I asked a childhood friend of mine, have you heard of this video called The Fall of Cabal? And she said, you came to me, I didn't come to you. And I said, what the hell's going on? This is when I get very emotional, because went down that hole and I didn't come out. I did 8 to 10 hours of research a day for about a year. And I thought I was going to die. I went to a hotel, left my family, because I didn't want to subject them to my thinking I was losing it. I mean, I seriously, if I had woken up any earlier, I could have been at Fairview in the psych ward, because I didn't realize the media lied. I was one of those. I voted for all of them. I had no idea about this. And then once I woke up, I'm a true Starcy. I just take my job very seriously. I just vomited all over Facebook and lost everybody. And I am okay with that, because what happened was it brought me truth, which equals light. And I am doing the work of the universe, and you guys are too. We are all related, and we cannot not do this together.
Marla?
Yes, honey.
Yeah, and Marla, and there's an echo. I don't know where that's going. Yeah, it's been almost 5 years for me since I woke up to things. And yes, and if you haven't watched The Fall of the Cabal, parts 1 to 10, you need to do that. And then there are sequels to it, and there's 20 sequels that are out there, very short, but let it be a movie afternoon. You will be glued. I am not kidding about that. And there's another documentary, and it has to deal with about our children, and it's called Out of Shadows. You need to watch that as well. And when I went down the rabbit hole, I had this a video that was sent to me, and it just sent me down those same rabbit holes. And when I found out actually what was going on, I physically threw up physically threw up. And so, but it's been a long process for me, and going through the school board, running, I'm at a consciousness level of 4 and 5. I'm very high to what is going on. And I had to deal with consciousness levels of 1, because they don't have a clue what is actually going on outside our world. And it's about globalism. It is about our children and saving our children. And those are rabbit holes everybody needs to go down. And it's not going to be pretty. It won't be pretty for you to find out. But once you find out the truth, you'll never go back. You know, so I guess I'm inviting everybody to take that red pill for the truth, because it'll change you. It changed my life. I was that blind person, not anymore. And I'm very vocal, and I need to be. And I'm a very proud mom, because my boy became a Marine 2 days ago, officially.
Oh,
And I'm fighting side by side with him. So
that's wonderful.
I'm very proud mom.
And we
I'll
love
be
you. And we're
posting
proud
those
of you.
videos in the. Oops, I'm sorry. I'll be posting those videos, the links to the videos on from the BitChute videos for Follow the Cabal and for Out of the Shadows on the Telegram page. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do suggest if you do talk to any of the your principals, and they're most likely not awake, I'm doing a real soft awakening with the whole, and it's not that soft, but I'm not going to go down and vomit down him right yet, because I have a tendency to spit it all out, and it's a lot to take. So I do recommend just doing the tidbits and start with the key components of pedophilia and transgenderism, and you don't want them to think that you're how can I word this, that you're anti-gay, because it's not. I mean, we're promoting freedom, but not freedom when it hurts our children, and that's what it's happening. And they have an agenda, and it's a really bad, ugly agenda, and it's putting that information out to the principal so they wake up to see what because they're not forward thinkers. We can see ahead. We're vibrating at such a higher level that these people can't see, because they can't see corruption when you're on a 3. We're higher up. We see it. We can see forward what the plan is. We know that these vaccines are coming down the pike here in our school systems. It's already in California with the mandates there for these poor children. And I said the V word.
Well,
anyways, so.
And you're not safe in public or charter schools. That's the scary thing. So no matter, so you're only safe with homeschooling, and that's it.
And online.
And online homeschool. Yeah, it's awful. It's something that we're literally a grassroots movement that's going to have to undo the corruption, and at the very we're actually taking it out by its roots, and it doesn't seem like it yet because we just have spades and we're just digging, but that's what we're doing. We have to root this out.
It's exactly what Trump was doing. And whether you like him or not, he was putting in amazing policies. And that's part of waking up too, is reading their policies. People are lazy and don't read. And I hate reading. I'm sick of videos. I'm sick of all this, but you don't stop. You can't stop. You have to keep going for the children. All right, you guys, it was an excellent meeting. Thank you for your time. It was almost 2 hours. I'm sure everybody has to get some water and go to the bathroom. We'll have another meeting. I'll plan another meeting after I have my affidavit and my notice of claim and my letter of intent. So you guys can see what is going after I send it all, then we'll have a meeting so I can give you an update. I will post all my paperwork once I have it all done on the district and on Bonds for the Win in Minnesota. And I'm going to copy and paste the entire conversation. Okay, and I'll try to put it in a document. I'm not tech savvy whatsoever, so bear with me. And I got a lot going on too, just like all of you. So I might be slow to the punch here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bless you. And I love
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you for
Marla.
being here.
Look forward to the next one.
Thank you to all
Good
of you.
job, everybody.
Thank you, Marla.
Thank you.
Bye. Kiddo, you're on a video. Your voice.